I'm Mike, and this is another creative project that I've undergone to keep myself recording video regularly so that I can get better at it. I've been doing still photography now for about 5 years, and I think it's time. I have a camera that can shoot decent video, so why not? Also, I've had the pleasure of meeting some very creative people with a lot of irons and a lot of fires. I want to help elevate their work and add volume to their voices. The impetus of this podcast is actually to introduce you to them. Maybe share a little bit about my own creative journey. I think every artist has their own perspective on art, and it's all valuable. Maybe there's something you can find here too that'll help you find your own creative spark. Whether that's photography, physical art, music, go out and create. I wasn't necessarily the best student in high school. It was really hard for me to keep attention in class. But my art classes and my English classes gave me some tools to keep focus on projects and see them through completion. Also gave me a lot of patience when it came to creation. One of those classes was photography, film photography specifically. We had a dark room, we had tons of projectors to be able to project on different sizes of photosensitive light paper, washes, chemicals. That one kid that smokes weed in the dark room thinking you can't smell it because of the chemicals. You can always smell it. In that class, I learned an appreciation for street photography. Early Americana, my city being built. These were the images that really grabbed me. These were the images I gravitated to. And as a casual fan of history, one could only wonder why. I got a solid C- in that class, but that's not really where this journey began. This happened in 2019. In 2019, I was newly divorced. I was on my own for the very first time really in my entire life. So I had a lot of time for introspection, to really dissolve myself down to my creative core, so to speak. And then just as I was in the midst of that, 2020 happened. February 2020, the quarantine. I hated it. Now I got to do that in entire isolation. An introvert heaven. And if you can't tell, I'm not the most introverted person. It was hell for me. It took a lot out of me. So I found myself trying to find excuses to go outside. And my number one excuse at the time was cigarettes. I took my phone with me, and I used that to kind of capture this weird time in history that I was experiencing. The graffiti that was popping up around my city. It was a time in history that I thought was pretty unique. And I think I caught some really good images on that. It was the reason I ended up buying my first camera, a Ricoh GR2. I just walked around my city like a tourist during this really weird time where there were no cars, there were no people. I got to experience a lot of these landmarks in a very empty setting. And here I am, now that everything's kind of opened up, shooting in the exact same way. I still shoot with this reverence that our time on Earth is very limited and that there's beauty to be found everywhere. Even in the rubble, even in the trash. I look at a lot of my early work as kind of a visual eulogy. I honestly thought at times that I was cataloging the end of the world, that future civilizations would be able to look back on some of the work that I was capturing and say, oh, he existed, he lived here during this time. It's kind of sad when I look back on it, but it really helped me find my creativity. It helped me find my niche. It helped me find the things that helped me also, in turn, find belonging in my city. I started managing photo walks with some of the people that I met online via Discord or through various socials. I'm a professional photographer, an artist first, so I've been working professionally really since I started this as a hobby. Some of my early JPEG work is out there. People have paid for it, and I'll be very honest, if you're seeing this and you're not happy with some of those early JPEGs, this is your moment. Hit me up for a reshoot, I'm okay with that. I'm also pretty political, so I'm not so certain that we've escaped Armageddon. I subscribe to the Jim Morrison philosophy of the future is uncertain and the end is always near. So, pardon my doomer language. I plan on using this platform to catalog my journey to becoming better at shooting video, which is probably my least used skill. I think I'm a pretty decent stills photographer. Might be the best, who knows? We all think we're the best, right? I'm really excited to share this journey with you. I've met some amazingly creative people. And next week, I have an interview with a photographer and videographer out of New York City that is doing some amazing work and has some very radical ideas on where photography is headed and what photography could be for the future. Thank you for episode 1, which is statistically my worst, and I look forward to sharing more with you.